Alright, I think I got the basics of it set up for this idea. I have no idea if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna at least try it. The basic idea is Veer combined with this right here. The damage of this when you've got Molten Wildebeest, almost comparable to Chantodo's Will, a Chantodo effect. The bad side of it, or the bad sides of it, is that Chantodo increases, the Chantodo wave of destruction increases with your attack speed. I don't think this does. The damage of this is at least a little bit more. Also, this, the type of damage is basically your whatever your highest damage type is, which would in this case would be cold. So the Chantodo effect is going to be cold, whereas this is physical. So in order for me to, there's really no way for me, I don't think I can get this. I'd have to create a new character that can do physical damage and change these, some of these over to physical if that's what I was going to try and do. Otherwise I just got to drop the whole cold thing. But I don't think it matters. I did have to give up Convention of the Elements because I had to put on Ring of Royal Grandeur to be able to get these pants on. So I had to give that up. I think I had Esoteric Alteration in here, so I gave up some defensive ability for that. But I do still have the hit point shield. Now, one of the bad things about this is that you no longer regenerate life. But I don't think that means that you have no way of gaining life. I think that just means you don't have life per second. I've still got life per hit. I've still got my magic weapon. So I believe I'll still be able to recover some life in some way. I don't think it means that I'm just going to be completely dead.
I miscast the charm spell, and Sister Lysa was falling over me for a fortnight. Oh, it was mortifying.
Couple of advantages of this is, first of all, I don't have to build up any stacks. It is always on. So I don't have to do anything for it. I don't have to wait for 20 stacks. The other thing is that this is going to stay on after Archon expires, whereas the Chantodo one stops. So even while I'm out of Archon form, I should still be doing some damage with this. Now the only thing I'm not sure about, I no way for me to know until I try it out, is I know the Archon stacks beef up your Chantodo Wave of Destruction. Will they also buff up, enhance the damage of your Aura of Death? I believe they will. I've tested it out with Legacy of Dreams, and it does, the Legacy of Dreams does enhance the damage of this by that 9,750%, whatever it is, which is about 90 times, about 100 times almost, relatively. So you do about 100 times the amount of damage. That's basically about, that's equal to 100 stacks in Archon. So, I don't know. I'm giving up a lot. I'm giving up Convention of the Elements. And I'm giving up that legendary gem, Esoteric Alteration, but hoping that what I get in return for it is going to be worth it. I was kind of hoping, I don't know why, I had calculated out the damage that this does, and I did a rough calculation, and it seemed like it actually did more damage overall than Chantodo. I'm not sure why. But it did seem to come out to that, but I don't know why. Maybe it's because when I calculated it, the other items I had on had more life per second, and then therefore this calculated higher. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm gonna try it out. Let's see. I did a. Let's see. What did I do? A greater rift on with Veer. I did 114. I did it in 932, but I think it was a very favorable map. I couldn't do a 115, or at least I wasn't. With the maps that came up, I wasn't able to. So let's just try a 115. I might as well just go for it. Now I still do have Chantodo. One of the things I was kind of hoping was that if the damage was almost equal, I was actually hoping just to get rid of Chantodo altogether. And go with something else. Now I do have this Essence of Anguish here instead. I think just for sake of comparison, I want to keep it. I want to keep it the same. I don't want to change that around. The only change I want to have made is by adding this on. Alright, so I'm back up to the cold skills. Now I could do more if I switched a bunch of items to regenerate life per second. I think I'm just going to hold off on that for now. I don't know exactly how that would affect me. Like I said, the only change I want to make is just the gem. And if it seems like it's working a little bit, then maybe I'll think about going and making some other change. But the biggest advantage I'm hoping for is to be able to do damage even while out of Archon form. That's really what I'm hoping for. So, all right. So what did I say? I did with Veer 114. We're gonna try a 115 and just see what happens. Been a while since I've played this build just in general, so. But yeah, I was kind of hoping I'd get rid of this Chantodo altogether and just do just the damage with this. It would always be on, always active. I don't have to worry about stacks. I can jump right back into Archon form immediately. Only problem is I don't think, after recalculating it, I don't think this does quite as much damage as Chantodo. At least not when it's fully, as far as raw damage and when it's fully stacked. But it just might have been interesting to see what other items I could have put there to obviously beef up this somehow. You know, maybe. I don't know what I could have put there. All right. Here we go. This. All I got is teleport, ray of frost, Archon. Okay, it's been a while, so bear with me here.
Are you strong enough to survive the trials?
Where is he? Come on. Oh, come on. Yeah. Alright, it's either not doing the damage or, I don't know, something's going on.
Need more time.
I didn't realize I was that close to getting out.
Not ready yet.
Can't target him. Come on. Come on! Come on! Why doesn't it just target it? Either way, it doesn't seem to be working or something. I don't know. I don't get it.
Need more time.
Come on. It just can't. Just not letting me target him.
Just warming up.
Well, what I should have done was just test it out. The whole damage concept with those pants. Oh, come on.
You're brave,
Come on, where is it? You'd be kidding me.
Need more time. How does that feel? Just warming up. I'm unstoppable.
Come on. Ugh. Targeting is just so clunky. I don't know why it just doesn't target well. You know, they don't appear to be taking the damage. Should still be doing damage if, you know, that whole idea was correct.
Just warming up. I don't have enough arcane power. Need more time.
All right.
I'm
Well,
returning to town.
maybe the damage just isn't getting multiplied the way that I thought it was. Or maybe it is, it's just what I'm losing does not equal what I'm gaining. Maybe there are things that are boosting up this Chantoto damage. I mean, obviously it's getting a benefit from cold, whereas this is not getting any sort of a boost maybe other than the Archon itself. Now, the only other thing I could think of trying, like I said, what... I was thinking of something like a death wish. To use in conjunction with the ray of frost. When I'm outside of Archon form. I'll have those stacks, and then that would be triple damage. But whatever it is, it's gonna boost up this. That's the whole point of it. I mean, yeah, I'll have Energy Twister boosted up, but probably want Wicked Wind. If anything. I don't even know if... This is just boosting up Energy Twister. I don't even know if I would really want that. I was thinking more... Even... It would have to be an offhand. Frost. Is this what I was thinking of? Ray of Frost now pierces. This might be good. Just for that extra life per hit. Just 1% less damage. I just don't think Energy Twister is the best choice there, but you know, the whole idea is for this to be doing the damage. So casting out Energy Twisters doesn't really add to that, but not really sure what else I could put there. With life for now. I don't know. I'll try it. I'm just, like I said, I'm more curious just to see whether or not this even does damage. I mean, it just, the way the numbers calculate out looks like it does damage. It looked like it should do some damage. You know, whether or not it's actually gonna, I don't know. We'll find out. Let's try another one. If it doesn't seem to do anything compared to Chantoto, well then we'll have our answer. Here we go.
Enemies of the mist.
Still waiting.
Come on, why isn't it attacking? How come I'm not generating any energy? Oh, yeah, yeah. Not doing any damage.
I need healing. Need more time.
All right. Well, some kind of mechanic there is just not. Not working there. I mean, I could see maybe it not doing as much damage as Chantodo. Okay. That Death's Bargain, but it should at least be doing some, and it's not doing any as far as I can see. (845% of my life per second), which is about 8 times. So this times 8. That about equals this 80,000%, which is what this comes down to, times that damage, times that 2,000 damage. Okay, one thing I did not take into consideration is that that shard beefs up the weapon damage. Whereas there is no beef up for life per second. So maybe that's why I was messed up. 2.67 divided by 1.4. So the damage of this is about 1,900 without the shard. 1,900 times 4,000 times 20 is 80,000. 80,000 is 800, so it's times 800. And that comes out to 1.5 million. Whereas this, 1.5 million, this is This is 8 times 161,000. $1.2. Okay, and it doesn't take into account the shard. The shard is actually going to make it even more. Well, still though, it didn't seem like it was doing any, and that just kind of, you know, I would probably have to go in and somehow test to see whether or not the Archon stacks boost up this Death's Bargain. You know, if this doesn't boost up the Aura of Death, if the Archon stacks don't boost it up, then they're doing no damage, more or less. But yeah, when I calculated how much damage 80,000% of weapon damage, I was just calculating on the raw damage. I wasn't calculating it with like this shard in here. Now it's a whole lot more. So now we calculate 3106 divided by 1.4. So the damage of this weapon now is 2,200 times 800. 1.7 million. And the Chantoto does go off faster based upon your attack speed, whereas I don't think this Aura of Death does. Still though, I mean, you should have been at least seeing something. It didn't look like I was seeing anything from this. And I was kind of hoping that this would still deal a good amount of damage after getting out of Archon form. Let me see. Tested on a lower one. I think I got better shard helmet thingies in here. Ring of Fire. What's the other one? Now, there's one where it says your cooldown is increased. Cooldown reduction is increased.
1,500 years for this. Should I return to my slumber?
Your cooldown reduction is increased. Because one it said for each enemy hit or something like that. And I never used it here because you actually don't want to have a huge cooldown reduction because you've got to get your Chantoto stacks. Maybe it was one of these. I might have used it to. I didn't augment anything. Come on, which one was it? I know I've seen it. Cold damage. Pass ability, hitting enemies, pass ability, Ring of Fire. I hope that's not it. Pool of Blood, hitting enemies, pass ability, none of them. Ah. Oh, there it is. Every time you deal poison damage to enemy, you increase your cooldown reduction and movement speed. Up to 25%. I had poison damage in my other weapon. Reduce all resource cost, of course. I could change that over to poison. I don't know. Either way. If this is just... Either way, I think this is just... This was supposed to be a flat aura that can't be increased. You know, it's the only thing I can think of. You know, because it's, you know, even if it was half, let's say it was half of the Chantodo, should have been seeing some of those creatures die from, or at least take some damage. It just didn't look like they would take. It looked like all the damage they were taking was just from the actual Archon. It didn't look like they were taking any damage from this. But it did look like it was getting increased by Legacy of Dreams. I would think it would be increased by Veer also.
I imagined that the hero of prophecy would be more light.
Alright, well. Hoping to spark some new life in Veer. With this guy here, but it's not gonna happen unless I can figure out what's wrong, or if anything's wrong. Might not be anything wrong. Getting right back into Archon form as fast as possible didn't help. Even if I had like 250 stacks, this still just was not doing enough damage. Maybe not doing any damage. How could I test that?
Many blessings.
Dismiss her. Put on the damage numbers. Take off any extraneous, anything that would change. Damage numbers. Let's just put on some protective ones. See if I can get my critical hit down to 0. Team. carry something without any critical hit damage. Alright. I don't want to do that, but let's go with let's go with this one. Alright, so my critical hit chance is 0. Change this to blur. All I want to see is if when I go into Archon form and I get my 50 stacks, if the damage from that aura goes up. Should go up times 50. You know, whatever that turns out to be. But I just gotta make sure that just gotta make sure that when I'm looking at the damage, that I'm getting a true, that the only thing that's changing the damage numbers is me going into Archon form. That's the thing. So if I'm seeing damage numbers from Death Bargain at a certain amount, once I go into Archon form, I get the 48 stacks. That should be about 48 times that number. That'll at least tell me that that the concept of what I'm talking about is working. Let's change this. I don't think it's gonna matter, but we'll just change it to that. Ring of Royal Grandeur, Halo, that's the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Alright, let's go fight some zombies. See what the damage numbers are. Be careful because my toughness is really low. $224. Yeah, why not? Yep, and they're still taking huge amounts of damage.
I need arcane power.
$24. Well. 63, but thing is, I'm not really taking a lot of damage. Gotta get some. Four.
Need more time. Help me! I don't have enough arcane power.
Can't. It should just be doing damage. Should just be doing good damage. It's just not.
I grow weak. I need arcane power. I am returning to town.
Well, something's wrong with the calculations. I don't know what it is.
My stomach feels strange.
Did you forget to eat again?
No. In fact, I decided to get the day's eating out of the way all at once. I kept at it until I couldn't take another bite.
Well, it sounds like you ate too much then.
Being a mortal is very complicated.
Alright, so now I have switched out Death's Bargain. I no longer have Death's Bargain. Wait a minute. Okay. Dummy. I didn't have Molten Wildebeest in there. Alright. Yeah. Of course it's not gonna work. I didn't have Molten Wildebeest in there. Right now, I got 163 times Death Bargain. Oh boy.
more arcane power.
This would be easier without any missile-based creatures. I was like, I gotta keep running away, and
I will enjoy this.
those little guys there just making it really difficult. Alright, so that's just Death Bargain.
Not here. I need to go.
Ugh!
I can't do that here.
It's just want to go back to down. Won't let me teleport over here. Alright, I did now we'll just do 20 stacks of Chantoto and see how much more damage that does. Here, here, and here. I didn't want that in there. I didn't want anything there which was going to skew the numbers. Alright, so now we'll just go back and just see if 20 stacks of Chantoto kills them faster. Something without a missile weapon. Look at that. That's what I expected to see from that. I guess I'm calculating it wrong or something. I didn't even look at the numbers. I didn't want to see the numbers. Wave of Destruction, 4,000% weapon damage. Times 20 stacks. %4,000% weapon damage. That's the same as 40. Why am I calculating that wrong? So it's 40 times your weapon damage, which is, I don't know, what did I say, 2,200, something like that. 4 times 2,200. 40 times 2,200 times 20 stacks. 1,760,000. just the basic raw damage. 1,760,000. Now, granted, I've got some, I've got some bonus to cold damage here, but I could. How do I get a bonus to cold damage? Oh. Shard. That's an extra 20%. I mean, it's not like it's an extra 2,000%. It's just an extra 20%. I'm stumped. And this would be, this should be 8 times, or 8.45 times your life per second. Now granted, that's not as much, but I mean, it's kind of close. I have to go back and look at the actual damage numbers there and just see exactly how much it's off. I mean, is it being multiplied by this? Shouldn't be. Damage scales with attack speed. So attack speed is that. That still just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I said, you know, it's like the other one just wasn't doing hardly any damage. This one is doing massive damage. We're not just talking about 1.7 times the damage. There's something else going on in how this is calculated, or how this is calculated. 20 stacks. That each stack is 4,000%. That's 80,000%. 80,000% of your weapon damage. So 80,000%, which is basically the same thing as 800 times. Alright, either way, doesn't work. I'm not sure why. I can sit here and do the math all day. It's just not, this just isn't doing the damage for some reason. Who knows why. Alright, let me sign off here, and I guess it's just Hydra. Hydra. Alright, I'll be back.